It's Progress Racing's midweek preview time. Beaver and Daggy with you. Hot in the back of an exhibition from the Beaver at Flemington. Plenty of nice priced winners there. A few at Roundwick, Rosehill we were on the hot rail there, and a few unlucky ones that probably should have been the finish or a bit bafflingly ridden on that track. But a good day out, Beaver.
Yeah, it was. Started like a house on fire. Got off with Kaboo and the $8 Saracen Knights in Melbourne, and continued to just beckon through the day. Yeah, it was a good result. I think Grand Remore, I tipped there's a really good chance backing up around the $10 mark. Passive Aggressive, I was pretty keen on it, and it showed it was a good sprinter.
Very impressive.
It was impressive, although I was pretty impressed with Star Patrol as well, because it got its head on the side the whole way, gave the other horse 5 kilos, and still kept doing its good work pretty much to the line. So I was keen on that run as well.
Actually, I know it's one up the straight and one quite well, but it looked a bit lost, a rail or around back around the bend, and I think it's still a good horse as well. I think they're both. I was impressed by Passive Aggressive as well. So
yes,
easy to follow both of them.
Yeah, finished the day with Zach the Boss, which was a good result, and also the Big Goodbye won nicely in Brizzy for us, so that was a good result as well. So across the board, we had a fair day.
Absolutely. So we'll kick off. We're back to, of course, talk Saturday racing tomorrow, but we'll kick off at Canterbury today, where the track is heavy, the rail is true. Look, I imagine you probably don't be too far from the rail again here.
Yeah, a bit perplexed why the track is heavy.
I was baffled as well, to be honest.
Because we only had a sort of sprinkling of rain last night, and prior to that, Rosehill was good on the weekend. So, interesting rating there. So, not sure what to make of that.
The Peno was I think still in the sixes this morning, so which indicates it's wet, but I don't know if that's something they do with the dew and it dries out quicker than normal. I was confused, but I treated it that way for now until we see otherwise. And the same at Cranbourne when we get down there. But we kick off with the 2-year-olds, a handful of scratchings over the 1250, 1,250 metres for the boys, that is. How are you going to start the day?
Yeah, tricky start to the day here. You've got 4 key chances in the market here. A couple of the top line trainers, a couple with one with no start. The Waller trained, and that's the way I've gone. I really liked its trial. I thought it was pretty good at Rosehill, and yes,
yeah,
Aldebrick. The 2, the Waller trained, so I've got it on top.
Oh, absolutely. Cool. I agree. I liked its trials as well. After the scratchings, I think sits closer and fits into this race well. Archer Titus has the setup here at the track and was okay and probably gets control now from the wide gate with all the scratchings. I think they're the 2. And there's a couple I'll be following down the road. A horse like Mudafik, where it turns up for the first time. I really like its trials. Not that it really helps us here, but we found a couple of 2-year-olds that turned up elsewhere the last couple of weeks out of trials that have won. So I might even make a note of them going forward. The fillies is race 2 over the 1250, where for the 2-year-olds again, where I liked just reviewing my scratchings here. Look, I thought Maritama on top for me now. I hit the line pretty well at Canterbury last time. Nash sticks and just needed a bit of luck earlier from Musical Affair, who has been a bit luckless both runs here. It's caught wide at Kenzo last time and had no luck on debut either. So I think can improve now, might even find the lead from what's left in this field. Beaver, what have you done?
Yeah, I've got Musical Affair pretty keen here. I think it'll sit much closer than it has in its 2 previous starts. It won its first trial quite nicely and then ran second in a trial behind Kaboo, which is a good form line for this because it's a talented horse. First up at Goulburn, ran fifth in a good race behind a decent horse, and then, as you said, no luck last start, only finishing a length behind them at Randwick. Sets up okay here today, hard to beat.
Race 3 is another 12.50, this time for the 3-year-olds in a maiden. Pretty ordinary field, I thought, which is why I ended up don't often go looking for horses that already had 9 starts without a win. But the 2 Trials of Wolves have been good and had some decent form before that. Ran well in town on a couple of occasions before going to the Furious and the Reginald Allen, but comes back to a fairly low race. Gate 2 should be forward, either leaders back or could even take up the running here. Trial's good for the S Bowman. I think runs well here.
Yeah, look, I've come up with Roma Avenue, resuming here. Think again, its trial was outstanding. Won by 4 lengths, beat Beer Palace, which has since come out and won very convincingly. So I think that is a really good form line for a race like this. And its two runs to date late last year were pretty good. So I think it is clearly on top, and I think it might start fave.
I think track pattern, if they're on pace, it definitely starts favourite. So keep an eye on that one. Race 4, another maiden over the 15.50 this time. Speaking of track pattern and things that might start favourite, Hide Your Heart should roll forward. Has been honest in both runs this map, and to be honest, I don't know who's going to chase it down. I'll have a small bet on Karishi just because I backed it on debut and it dropped out. I think it pulled up lame and now goes to Nash and might have a bit of ability after starting that preparation up in Queensland. But not much to add here. I think the leader might have 0 chases. What have you done?
Yeah, same as you, mate, here. I think Hide Your Heart gets its chance here. Again, at 10 starts and hasn't won. So therefore, I think it probably gets its right chance here today. I think you're right. Your analysis is good.
Race 5 is a 1900 metre benchmark, 72. What are you doing here?
Yeah, look, another one of those races that's hard to line up. I was struggling a little bit with the form lines, and I was looking around, but I came back to Tidal Creek with Nash aboard. I think its form last preparation was pretty good as the distances got out to this distance. First up was okay over the mile. I think this sets up nicely for it. I think that will have derived a lot of benefit from that run, and I think probably looks hardest to beat.
I agree. I'm tipping a pretty good day for Nash, actually, from here on in. Should go right forward in this field. Again, not a lot of chases. Nash will take control. Its 2 runs, once it got out in distance, were very good at the end of last prep. Did beat Tinny Winnie by a space a couple of starts back, and then came to the track and distance and won here. Nice enough return and control. All nice ticks here, where it will very hard to beat. Race 6, another 72, this time over the 1200 metres, a race of the day. What are you doing here?
Well, I think there's a fair number of horses you can rule out here that are probably lower in the market. I don't see anything at decent odds winning here. I've settled on Snips on Fire from the Waterhouse Pot Stable resuming. Trialled well enough for this. And if you go back to its last preparation, like its real only failure was in a listed race at the Gold Coast behind King of Sparta, where it was decent odds. But before that, ran some really nice races. Will be on pace. If there's any advantage there, then it'll be here to and set up for it to take care of that. But looking at the races it's running before, I think it'll be hard to beat. It's got to give the favourite 5.5, but I think it'll be too good.
I've flipped them around. I'm with the favourite Marunia, just off the dominant win last time. That was good. I like the way Willie Pike rides these inside rail tracks. He was good on the weekend. He just he knows he seems to be one that's switched onto it. So he'll stalk and he'll just pick the right gap at the right time and hopefully snipe off here. But definitely scared of Snits on Fire. And if the track's in its favour, obviously that helps with Tim Clark on a leader. Wasn't quite sure on the trials. It was ridden out in both, but didn't go backwards. Just needed a lot of work to get going, which might just be the horse. So
you're right with Pike there, but Daggy, I know the race you're referring to there was Navy Seal, which was another one I tipped
perfect,
around
right?
the $5.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
I just don't understand some of the other jockeys that are just rolling off the fence and letting, particularly on that track, like the favourite, which I'm just trying to think what it was, had the run up the inside there and just rolled off and let Navy Seal come under it and allowed Navy Seal to ping through and then just hold them on the line. If it holds its line there and doesn't let Navy Seal through, it probably goes on and wins the race.
Absolutely.
I can't remember what the horse was.
And there was, I think the last, I have to go back. There was a similar ride. Either he won or he got very close. But he's done a bit of it lately on these sort of tracks. And I think he's starting to fit into Sydney.
Willingo Ruffio, Tyler
yes.
Schiller hopped off.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm getting much more confident. Never really had a doubt about him, but I think he's now fitting into that sort of top 5 Sydney jockey. I think there's a clear couple of top ones, but he's riding quite well at the moment, Pike.
That was a couple of my other tips. Actually, Daggy, Rubinoshi won at $7 and Bella Rouge.
Absolutely.
Also won. So
yeah, on fire. Race 7. To wrap up the day, we did race 6. We did. That was the snitch race. Race 7. As I said, a nice end of the day here for Nash. I think he rolls straight to the front on Narrated. They jiggy jog for about 1,000 meters. He takes off on the bend and they win. And he wins, as has been reflected, given he's been absolutely smashed in the market. And nice jockey change going Ellen Hennessy to Nash. So all good signs for that one to finish the day. How are you taking us home?
Yeah, I think Narrated looks clearly on top here. And I actually think, when you do the form here today, there's it's hard to see a lot of these horses that aren't in the market not getting the chockies here. I think you're going to have a pretty good day if you stick to sort of the top 3 in the market. I think that's where the winners will be coming from. But Narrated for me on top for all the reasons you've said, probably just walks this in front and is too good for these. Clearly on top and my best bet of the day.
Perfect. Mine too. Best bet of the day, Narrated. Do you have a value? I struggled to find some value in this one. Look, one I didn't really mention, but I may have something on is Pozesana. Now I'm just going back through the fields, around $11, just for the sake of a double figure tip, because the other couple I might have expected have all been scratched. Do you have anything at value?
My best value bet is around the $5 mark, which was race 2, number 14, Musical Affair.
Beautiful. It's a nice little card. It just shouldn't be too many tricks on that. So.
No, I don't think so.
Good opportunity there. We head down to Cranbourne, which I'm not as convinced is a nice little card because it's not a track I particularly, not a track I bet at, to be honest, anymore. But Rail goes into the 9 meters with a heavy 9. Last time I was in this setup, he sort of wanted to be sort of 2 or 3 off the fence running on. We kick off the day with a maiden over the 1,200 meters. Do you have anything for us in the first?
Look, tricky way to start the day. This is an open affair. Any of sort of the top 6 or 7 could probably win this, and a couple of first starters. So I kind of sat out of this. I just sort of have a look at how the track was playing heavy and let them go around. Probably just follow the market and see if anything is spec in the market, but probably watch this one.
Another race I suspect I'll be watching is race 2, a 20-80 meter maiden, where Calm Sir is coming off a short SP, 4th up, hit the line okay last time, and you're back at each way price. But as a rule, I tend to not bet into staying maidens because I don't think it's ever gone well for me. But have you got any more confidence?
Yeah, look, I think that's right. The other one I may spec is Gamorg from the Danny O'Brien stable. It was pretty good last prep, finishing off as the distances got out. And then first up was pretty good, got way out of its ground and finished off quite nicely there. This jump in 400 metres he will suit, and certainly if the track allows him to come down the middle, I think it could run on well.
Race 3 is another maiden over the 1,400 metres, where, again, I didn't really want to back anything of the Race Brigade, so I might have a spec on Spirit on debut. Is it line okay and some jump outs here around the $9 mark, but nothing I'm going to be ploughing right into. What about yourself?
Yeah, I probably tend to agree with you there. Pretty tricky race. If I was having a play in spec, I'd go Waitapu. Was pretty disappointing first up, but was in the market, and yeah, probably a little bit disappointing. I'd expect it might have some improvement in it, and yeah, just going speculation there that from the Busset and Young stable.
Race 4 is a benchmark 64 over the mile. What have you done here?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Busset and Young stable here. Thought the favourite here, Audrey Girl, was pretty good last start at Geelong. Liked the way it just sat off the pace and went past them. From this draw, I think it'll probably take up a similar position. Had some form in town prior to that, and has run okay at this track before. So suited here, 1,600, right draw, right trainer.
I've gone with, I don't get it, off the nice win at Echuca, let up in the conditions, and won well. I think goes pretty much does the same thing. He gets control now with the scratching of Telecaster, who would have been very hard to beat, and this sets up nicely for it. Yeah, in main danger, as you've mentioned, Audrey Girl. Race 5 is a benchmark 70 for the girls. What have you got on top here?
Yeah, I'm going with the resuming Arriva Diva from the Mar Eustace stable. Thought last prep it was pretty good, in some decent company. Only real failure was probably the start before it was spelled, but had some nice wins when it went up on pace. I think it can resume here, jump well from the 3 gate, and prove hard to beat around the $5.50, $6 mark. I think it's a nice bet. You're on mute, mate.
Oh, that's no good for the host, is it? All right, for real life on top.
Most sense you've made all day.
Yeah, no, stick with that tip. For real life on top, going well off a nice win off some nice jump outs, and hard to beat here. Scared of Arriva Diva, who's now out to a price, though, I would probably take. I've just noticed it's drifted this morning, and at that price, I'm a bit more tempted. Race 6 is a 1,200 metre benchmark 70, knocked around by scratchings, which has left me with not a lot to talk about here. In fact, left me nothing to talk about. Have you got anything to talk about?
Yeah, I'm sticking with LTC. Liked its first up win, fresh. Thought it was pretty good at Geelong. Gets out to the 1,200 metres here. It's a pretty small field, this. So I think they're all around $5 mark in the market. The market will probably chop and change here, but I've got it on top. Jai McNeil from the Ben Hayes stable. I think it can be proved hardest to beat, but an open field, anything can win this.
Race 7 is the benchmark 64 of the 1,400 metres. I was keen on Sacred Command at odds last time, and was probably a little bit unlucky not to beat Jonty in that race. And that sets up well for this. I think that's pretty good form. The market agrees, so it just notes its favourite. I think there's 2 chances. Sacred Command from Copperfield, but I think I'll stick there in this one. Yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'm with you there. Probably should have finished closer last start after coming from Sydney to Melbourne. We know that form stacks up. Jai McNeil aboard from the Wallace stable. Look, I think it's a very nice bet. Start shorter than that.
Yeah. And we finish the day with a 2080 over the 64. where I was keen on Shadowhawk at the price. I think it was nearly double figures when I did the form. It's now $4.40. I think I will still be keen on it. I think it'll run well. It's going well this prep. Get through the conditions. Froggy gets on well with it. And look, I don't have a lot else to talk about the race. I think Osaka's a bit of a plotter, and it can, coming to its home track, can run very well.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Shadowhawk on top for me. I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Couple around the double figure odds that I'd also probably look to save on, and that's Aragorn and McTaffy. I think they're both genuine chances. Aragorn was very good at Sale, won quite comfortably, and ran well prior to that. And McTaffy third up here. You get a good form guideline on this because it ran fourth, less than 2 lengths behind Audrey Girl, which we'll see earlier in the day. So if Audrey Girl runs well, then I'd certainly be saving on McTaffy.
No, that's good commentary because Aragorn, well, again, when I did the form, was double figures, and I think would have also been the other one to mention. So a bit of confidence there to finish the day. Have you got a best in value at Cranbourne?
Yeah, my best bet comes up in race 7, number 5, Sacred Command. And my value bet is in race 5, number 1, Daggy Beaver, about $6 at the moment. I think jump on that, it'll start well shorter than that.
Beautiful. I'm going to make my best start for real life, and my value Shadowhawk, but obviously the value might have been missed there given the time we've done the show. What do you got for us up at Queensland?
Yeah, I've got a few up at Queensland today. Let's see how I go. Been flying there, particularly midweek. Race 1, number 5, Vaccine. I think it will get us off to a strong start to the day. You can probably all add up into race 4, number 1, Salik. I think it'll be winning around the even money mark. My value bet up at Doomben is race 5, number 2, Colleagues, about the $4.50, $5 mark. And then I think you can finish off the day quite nicely in the last race, race 8, number 8, Secret Tales. I think you can bounce back to winning form.
Lovely. The more we've done this show, I'm a bit keener on the betting this afternoon. I think it's a good betting day. So
yeah, it is.
Make sure to get your bets on this time, Beaver. That would also help you skyrocket.
Mate,
not, maybe.
The day job sometimes gets in front of this job, mate.
I understand. Good luck today, and good luck, punters. We'll be back on Thursday night to talk about, or Friday morning, to talk all things Tats Tiara, last Group 1 of the season, as well as some good racing in Sydney. Good luck, and we'll talk soon.